Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Bruno Talks with. Today, we will be talking about success, but also about the failures, what it takes to have a successful product. How many failed attempts do you need? My guest, Alex West, had like 19 failed attempts before he launched his successful product. So, we will be talking about that, but also what I wanted to this episode to be. I want to put some kind of motivational note here because I believe that story from Alex will inspire you a little bit, at least to think about what you can do and what you can start. So yeah, stay tuned. Hi Alex, welcome to the show. Thanks for accepting being here and for being my guest. How are you? What are you doing? So maybe few words about yourself, some short introduction.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Bruno, first of all. Congrats on the show. Like, I see that you've started really fast, pumping out episodes. I like the style. It's going to be like a free-flowing, simple conversation between friends. Uh, from my side, for people that don't know me, I'm Alex. I've been in the maker community for about 2.5 years. It was only in the last 6 months where things took off. Like as Bruno was saying, uh, it's not that easy. I mean, it's simple, but it takes time. And for me, it took a long time. It took 19 failed attempts. My 20th product was the one that went well. And right now, like just a brief overview, I'm working on a lead generation service for digital agencies. It's called CyberLeads, getcyberleads.com. And basically, it's a newsletter where I provide agencies with high quality leads every single month in the inbox. And I charge money on a subscription monthly basis. So yeah, that's what I'm working on at the moment. And I also have like a full-time job because that's a big thing in the maker community.
So you are still working as a full time. Are you a developer or?
Yes. Yeah. I'm a software engineer. Like the full-time job, I hear everyone wanting to quit to make it, and the side project world. For me, it was the opposite. Before I had the job, I couldn't get my ass and sit down and work like proper work. When on the weekends when you have all the day to yourself and you do fuck all, nothing. That was my life. Like I didn't have a full-time job. I was a student in Greece. I would wake up in the morning, have a coffee, go for a run, come back. It was already noon. Work a little bit on my side projects, but not really working, like pretend working. And then I would eat afternoon. Basically, I would do nothing all day long. And then I started a full-time job, and I got scared shitless because I'm like, oh fuck, this is it. So this will be my life all day. I have to escape from this. So I'd wake up in the morning, and Bruno, in 2 hours, I would do a lot more than I did all day long when I didn't have a job. So I think having constraints like a full-time job actually can help you a lot. It did me anyway.
So you are kind of those morning persons. So you are not, or
No,
do you
sir.
just
No, whatsoever.
shift the work in the morning?
Yeah, I'm not a morning person. Like I used to wake up at 11, uh, even 12 sometimes. But in the beginning, when I started my full-time job, my plan was okay. I go to work, I finish work at 6 o'clock, I go home, I eat something, and then I have like a 3 hour block that I can work on my side projects. But you know what it's like after a full-time job. Like you're toast, especially in a creative job like engineering or writing code every day. So I would get back home and I would stare at my screen, feeling sorry about myself because I couldn't concentrate. Because that's the big thing that until you find that idea, that is the hardest part. That's not the easy part. That's the hardest part. After that is a bit easier. But at that point, when you're looking for an idea and you're looking for the distribution channels and how to do the marketing, you have to be creative, and that needs a lot of energy. It's not as easy as, okay, 3 hours, that's it. So I flipped my priorities and I started working in the morning. I hated it at first, but now it's sort of like a habit.
So yeah, we said like 19 failed projects. I mean, I suppose they were not totally fails, but you wouldn't call them as successful as cyber leads. So can you just, I don't know, give us overview? What are those projects about? So I know that you were building that kind of web browser epilepsy blocker. That was pretty cool. I think it even ended up as a free product, as a free extension, if I'm correct. But maybe you can just mention that, and maybe some other project, because I think this plugin was pretty much cool thing, and I would like to mention it and to share it.
Yeah, I actually like a lot what you said, but okay, the game we're in is, to achieve freedom, and you need money as the vehicle to achieve that freedom. But just because some projects did not make money, it doesn't mean that they were unsuccessful. So that plugin, for example, what Bruno's referring to is a project I built in 2019. It was a Chrome extension similar to an ad blocker that you install on your browser. You know how ad blockers work, where you scroll on the page and you never see an ad, right? It's blocked it before you even seen it. Well, there's some people that have photosensitive epilepsy. And basically, if something is flashing a lot or like with weird patterns, like we've all had like seen GIFs and stuff like that, that could trigger a seizure to people with photosensitive epilepsy, and it's even lethal actually. And there was nothing to protect them online. And I was on Twitter, as I usually am, drinking my coffee in Greece, and I saw one day an article about a famous New York Times journalist who has this kind of epilepsy and was attacked. He was sent some dangerous animated GIFs on Twitter, and he had a very strong seizure, and they arrested the guys. And I saw them like, okay, this should be something for sure. And I Google around and I find nothing. And when I say nothing, I mean nothing. So with my stupid brain, I thought it was super easy to build. And I said, okay, fuck it, I'll build it. It will take a week probably, because I'm quick at building stuff. But it wasn't that easy. I had to read research papers. I had to read like guidelines from, I don't know, the UK telecommunications broadcast organization, stuff like that. And it took like 2 months, all day, every day coding, but I was really into it. And my girlfriend was actually really pushing me to do this. Not as a business, like in the beginning, I wanted to have it free. But the day before I launched, I saw that, computation was crazy. It would take an animated GIF and it would loop through all the pixels one by one and see if they're flashing and everything. And if you take even the simplest GIF, that is, I don't know, let's say 600 by 600 pixels and 200 frames, I think it's like 70 million pixels to analyze. So if you write like a for loop, forget it. It will take 5 minutes, and this had to be real time. There was no way this could be free and be used by many people, because the costs would be through the roof. I managed with some ways to make it more efficient, but I had to charge a price. And that's when things went bad, because I did not like charging a price for this. I had many people telling me that, $10 a month is a lot. I live on benefits. Many times people that have this type of epilepsy have other disabilities, like they don't walk, they can't move correctly. So I'm like, fuck this, man. I don't want to have my incentives, mixed up. What I want is to build something more boring and have this for free. And that's what it is now. But as you were saying, just to close this story, epilepsy blocker was the thing that got me this fantastic job that I have here. So without epilepsy blocker, I wouldn't have moved abroad. I wouldn't have started this job, and possibly I wouldn't have started Cyberleads either.
So yeah, in the end, it is kind of even as you said, it's not successful in terms of bringing you money. It bring you some possibilities in your life, definitely. So yeah, and when you say that you rearranged your day life, so you shifted your creative work in a. I read somewhere that you also read this Atomic Habits book. So does it have a lot of? Did it have a lot of impact on your way of thinking and what you changed? What besides this shifting your daily schedule? What else have you changed in your mindset, in your approach, in your, I don't know, taking looking at the business as well?
Yeah, a lot of things, really a lot of things. Number one was that I was living like as a university student in Greece. I was not working. I was designing my lifestyle from a place of comfort. Like I was money wasn't an issue for me. I was thinking about things bigger than money, like epilepsy blocker, for example. And I wasn't actually looking at reality the way it is. Like things are far more simpler. Like it's not that easy to change your world from your bedroom and with your pajamas and become the next Elon Musk or, you know, do something grandiose and huge. It's a lot easier to change your world first, and then you can maybe, you know, give money to charity or whatever. I think it's mostly ego that people want to build like a something that will improve humanity, and not so much that they want to provide value, because you can build something boring and give money to charity, for example. That was one thing. So I said, fuck that. No more unique, ambitious products that are super difficult to build. You have huge responsibility and it's very difficult to make money. And you actually feel bad making money because you want these things for free. Let's build something boring. Let's build something that I know that people will pay for. Let's build something without code, because with my day job, I sort of fell out of love with programming. I realized that it wasn't programming per se that I loved, but the act of creating something out of nothing. Like we've all felt that you write a piece of code, you put it in the cloud, and you know it's alive, it's there, it doesn't sleep, it doesn't drink coffee, it doesn't complain, it does its magical little thing. It's fantastic. But that wasn't the code and the programming languages wasn't the thing that I was into. I was into creating things. So I said, fuck unique products. Stop writing code. Stop trying to build a unique product and just build something you know people pay for. And the last thing you mentioned about the book, Atomic Habits, that had a huge impact on me as well. Because, you know, motivation is super overrated, I think. Like, and even if, I don't know, someone gets inspired by a motivational video on YouTube or Gary Vee or whatever, I don't know. On a random Wednesday, when it's cold outside and you don't want to get out of bed, Gary Vee won't lift you up. Like you want habits, you don't want motivation, and you don't want discipline. Discipline is also overrated, I think. You want something like brushing your teeth. Have you heard anyone say, you know what, this summer I wasn't really brushing my teeth. I'm not, I've left that. No, we all brush our teeth year round. Like it's a habit. You don't even think about it. And that's the important things in your life, which shouldn't be many. There should be like one or two. This should be like brushing your teeth. You don't even think about it. And this book really opened my mind to that habits are everything, basically.
And you mentioned just a moment ago, you started chasing these unique ideas, chasing the ideas that will change the world, that will make you next Elon Musk or whatever. So you switched to chasing the boring ideas, if I understood you correctly. So how I mean, how it looked like to actually chase a boring idea. I mean, do you search it somewhere? Do you, I don't know, in terms of like, do you, I don't know, get on some forums to see what other people are doing and what can be easily done, and especially you said like you don't want to actually code it, but you want to go with some, for example, no code solutions, and but just to seek for the to actual problems to solve. So maybe to describe a little bit how you approach in searching for boring ideas, and in the end, so without any insults, but cyber leads, as you also said, is kind of a boring idea. I mean, not something that is revolutionary. So in the end, you get the idea about that, about starting even that, if that's correct, if I may say. But how did you approach? I mean, how did you even start with that? So was it this changing the mindset from the book that you read, and did it come after that, or was it something in parallel?
Okay, so let's take a step back. There are two approaches in building products, businesses, whatever. There's the shotgun approach from one side, which is okay, throw spaghetti on the wall, and if one sticks, boom, focus on that one. And then there's the sniper approach. These are my naming conventions. It's not, I don't know if anyone calls them this way. Which is the sniper approach is, okay, I have this idea, I'm locking into this idea, I'm gonna make this fucker work. I mean, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, both have worked for different kind of people, okay? And I also personally tried both of them. I tried building many products, like having ideas, you write them out down on your notebook, you see them, you estimate how long will this take me, 1 week, boom, do it, launch it. Good, bad, do we focus or do we scrap it? And you go on and go on. And I also, with this approach, like that was the whole 2018, I followed this approach, and I went from 0 experience to having launched 15 products, I think, and reaching 200 MRR, which to me, that was crazy, you know, $200 every month without doing anything. That is crazy. In Greece, I was getting, just for context, in Greece, I was getting paid $500 per month working full time. Okay. In 2019, I followed the sniper approach, which basically means, you know, I took epilepsy blocker because I fell in love with the idea, and I said, I'm going to make this work. I tried one thing, you know, I tried the consumer thing, it didn't work. I tried talking to charities. I was cold calling charities in Canada and the US and London, everywhere, trying to find if they could help me, promote me, work together, you know, give it for free if they could sponsor me, whatever. Then I would go to TV networks, because TV networks, they in some countries, they have to warn people that, you know, the following program is dangerous for people with photosensitive epilepsy. So I went there, had some meetings with some CTOs of some huge telecommunications network in Greece. Like, I really tried, and it didn't go anywhere. So at the end of 2019, I accept this job, I leave, I go to Italy from Greece. I'm originally from Greece, and I flew to Milan. And I'm to myself, okay, this is it now. I have a full-time job. I don't have all these hours every day. I really have to concentrate here and come up with a plan. And then that's when I wrote, for me, I think it was huge. I wrote the 2 years of indie hacking. It's a very long piece, blog post, where I describe every single one of the products I built inside 2 years, what happened, what went right, what went wrong, all the numbers, like upvotes on Product Hunt, everything. And that really helped me come up with a plan. Like, okay, I'm going to take the shotgun approach. And one last thing is that I went through the Indie Hackers archive and the podcast because you know, I'm a big fan, obviously, and I saw many people, Bruno, that they may preach that it's good to focus on one idea for a long time, but as the great Nassim Taleb says, don't tell me what you think, show me your portfolio. So I noticed a pattern there, that all these makers, which I looked up to, had traction from the beginning, and that solved my dilemma. I said, fuck it, I'm gonna go shotgun. So then it started, okay, so I have my priorities flipped up, I have my plan, I have my strategy, I have my program, I wake up in the morning. So what do I do? How did I find this idea? It's almost like in a dream, you know, in a dream that you think back and you try to explain what happened. It was luck, and I'm gonna say it like without any shame. It was luck, but when you try for 2.5 years, you're gonna get lucky at some point. So I was looking for ideas. I was writing them down as I always do, and I found a blog post about a guy who went idea hunting on Reddit. And that was super interesting to me, you know, idea hunting, what is that? So this guy, you know that myth that scratch your own itch? Well, it's not a myth, it works many times. But, you know, there are always exceptions to the rule. And this guy, he didn't scratch his own itch. He went to Reddit and he found a fantastic idea and he executed, and he's making like 10K per month every month. So I said, okay, let's do the same thing. Let's go on Reddit, start going undercover, asking questions, trying to find like an idea and a problem and stuff, and try to find something to build. It didn't work that way. Like top-down approaches, like master plans, don't really work that well. I did get some ideas. I did end up launching them, but no great results. But then one day, like, sorry for the long story, for the most uneventful discovery of idea. There wasn't any epiphany like walking down, I don't know, Brooklyn Bridge and I had this idea. No, I was on Reddit and I see a post that says the list of the fastest growing startups, recently funded startups, something like that. So I see a post with a list of startups that just raised money. And I see that it did really well. And I look it up. And then I start Googling around, and I found around 10 companies basically providing the same information to different kinds of people, and they're all making a lot of money. So there were people providing this information to journalists, others as a business intelligence platform, others to people that want to find a job, others to sales teams, others I don't know, you name it, as a database, as a newsletter, as a like a report, anything. So the same information in many different ways, and they're all making money. And I'm like, okay, this is very interesting. And also like the newsletter approach, I'm a big fan of it because it really reduces friction. And the most important thing, you can launch without a product. So all these, like, although this may seem overly simplistic, I think you need experience and trial and error again and again and again and again and again, just so you can notice something like this. Like 2018, Alex wouldn't have noticed this. Or even worse, he would have noticed it and say, oh, it's taken, as if it's a fucking bus seat or something. So I find it. From my previous launches, I knew what was, you know, not needed. Like in my first launch, I understood that the .com domain doesn't mean shit for validation. People don't care if you have a .com or .co. In my second launch, I realized that having a professional logo won't make you or break you either. In my third launch, I realized that those extra features that I thought that I needed didn't make me or break me either. So 2 years down the line, I know that I don't need anything. All I need is a landing page and a Gumroad subscription. I didn't even code like the Stripe checkout or something. So I build it, I launch it, and I get pretty uneventful launch, and I get 10 paying customers, and that's it. And that's how it started. But it took a long time to get there.
So you actually launched product on Product Hunt without product.
Don't tell
but
anyone.
In the end, it was yeah. But in the end, it is a product. But yeah, there are a few things that you mentioned that I also want to not repeat, but also to just to draw the attention to that. So yeah, you noticed how many of them already exists, but they are also for different purposes. So for lead generation, for I don't know, so industry A, industry B, industry C, and internet is not really I mean, this whole kind of business is not really a zero-sum game. So you can find your own place where whatever you are trying to do. I mean, at least you should try. And this all what you are describing, how it took before even spotting the idea, is kind of a perfect analogy. I mean, with real world what you are doing. So try this, try that product, third, second, I don't know, fourth, fifth product, and doesn't work. And from each of those, you get some kind of bag of experience that you can pick with you, or some tool, or even mindset. So as you said, so 2018, Alex wouldn't even maybe notice this as a business opportunity, but and now you are here, and you actually have, like you said, even from the starting. So day one, you get after launching, you get 10 paying customers, which are paying customers in terms monthly recurring revenue. So you already had this validation, and maybe it helped you a little bit to see that other products, similar products, are already validated. So there are demand, and there is still people who are actually paying for it, and actually buying. But it's pretty much this is pretty much a big takeaway from this whole story, is that this success doesn't come overnight. So people, when someone's seeing like, okay, yeah, he's launching a newsletter and he's making a money, but that's not really true. I mean, everyone can launch a newsletter, but you need to sense that moment and to realize what's that people could eventually buy and eventually pay the money for. And yeah, sometimes it seems that some really simple products are actually making money, and all that you need is to let's say not train yourself, but focus, or I don't know how to express myself. So you need to train yourself to spot those situations. And the best training is actually by starting doing things. Start doing some small ideas. It doesn't have to be I don't know, next big thing. Start with something that I don't know. You even mentioned scratch your own itch, but who cares? Start with some automated script that you made for your, I don't know, everyday task. Maybe you are not only one, but you will learn something from it. Release, I don't know, write something, some manual, Git manual or whatever. Sell it. Try to sell it on, you said, Gumroad or wherever, but pull out something from that. So try to learn how the selling work, how the copy, writing copy, how to convince someone to actually buy something that you are selling. But from each of these tiny projects, you get something, and these successful things are not happening overnight. So they are many years in the making. So even this, for example, this cyber leads, as you said, you were working for it on that for like last six months, if that's correct. But I would say as well that those first 2 years are actually also kind of indirectly having a big impact what the cyber leads will eventually become. So yeah.
I agree. I think you said it perfectly. Like Bruno, I was so mad when I got 10 paying customers. It's not even funny. I was like, what the fuck was I doing 2.5 years? But then through reflecting, I understood that, I would never, like physically I may be able to do it. Like the same way, I don't know, like a top chess player, you can move the pieces like a top chess player can. You can physically, but you cannot because you don't have the experience he has. So even though this might sound super simple, like, okay, the guy just took an idea, which wasn't even his own. He built a landing page and he launched, and then he's promoting it on Twitter or whatever he's promoting it, and that's what he did. Yes, but also, like, I couldn't do it 2 years ago. But I mean, they're more talented people than me. I see some makers come in and make noise straight away, like in 3 months. Like Danny that you heard earlier, I think he's only built a few products, and he took straight away. Some people are super talented. Other people need more time. For me, it took nearly 3 years.
Well, also in my first episode, I think, which when I talked with Arvid, he's also making these things for 10, 15 years. So uh, it's just a game of trial and error. So you need to find something until you just hit the, I don't know, uh, until you find that perfect thing that actually works for you. And I like what you said with this ideas, like picking the ideas. I mean, treating the ideas like they are bus seats. So I mean that's also changing the mindset. So before, like 2018, Alex would be like, this is there's somebody already working on this. No, I should pick onto another idea. And yeah, that's also, I mean, you obviously shouldn't just copycat the idea. That's for sure. But there's plenty of room to make another competition product, maybe even better. Maybe sometimes people are thinking like there is this already full, I don't know, full feature product that do, like, I don't know, 2000 has 2000 features in it and it's covering everything. But then come when you think again, maybe people are bored of that big product that solves so many of their problems. Maybe they just want that tiny fraction of the problems to be solved, and you have this ability to jump in. Okay, it's the same area, it's the same product, it's the same purpose, but you only solve this the fraction tiny little bit, and maybe you can even, I don't know, charge even way less money on that. And that's the mindset that even if someone is doing it, even big players, or don't be afraid to start doing something on your own. So don't be afraid to don't go into that. Okay, this is taken. I'm going to, because eventually you will find yourself in a full bus, and you won't have a seat to take, and you will just went off on the next station, and the game is over for
Yeah.
you. So
Yeah, mate, you're against yourself, and that's it. You're not against anyone else. Like the internet is so big. If you think that, I don't know, the internet can't handle you and one other player, you're crazy. The internet cannot handle you. Do you know how many 100 million per year businesses are competing in the same market? There's so much money flowing out there. All you have to do is put your little bucket and collect some. Especially when we're talking about, I don't know, 10K per month. We're not talking about building the next Facebook or the next Instagram or the next Twitter. That's another game, and that's not my game. My game is go in, of course, fair play. Like, I like competition. I like fair competition. Like, I don't like when everything overlaps. Like you have the same product and you're selling to the same people and you're using the same distribution channels and you're using the same way to approach the customers. Like that is okay. That is like you're fishing in a river And if the guy sits on the opposite bank of the river, there's no problem. If he sits next to you, but he's fishing for another type of fish, that's no problem. But if he comes next to you, he's fishing the same type of fish as you, and he's sitting right next to you on the same river, on the same bank, and like, what the fuck, man? Move over. There's enough room for everyone, but don't bash heads. And copycats do that. Like they will bash heads with others, and they're just causing a problem to themselves as well. So this is a nice analogy I like to use. Let's say there's a energy drink company, okay, and they position themselves as the most delicious energy drink you've ever drunk in your life, okay? And you take exactly the same product, exactly the same, and you name it Bruno Beast, okay? And you sell it, you say, okay, this is the energy drink you need to lift those weights and hit your next PR in the gym. Are you competing? Not really, even though you have exactly the same product. Or you could have, I don't know, and later down the line, the products will change a lot because those people will add, I don't know, like mint, and you will add like creatine in your drink. So down the line, they will change. And that's what happened with me. Like with some people, we were pretty close. And now I've built like specific features for agencies like forecasting, if they will need design agencies, if they will need like engineering agencies or whatever. Even adding like I don't know, non-profits because they need agencies. Like you cater to your audience, and then you're not competing with anyone. And that's the best thing I think about the internet. There's room for everyone.
Yeah, and yeah, you definitely show it with the cyber leads. I mean, you were sharing this the graph of rising MRR. So maybe you can talk a little bit on that, but just to give the what I have in mind. So there is this line: expectation versus reality. So maybe if you want to share a bit. Also, if you want to share some numbers as well, I
Yes,
mean, if you're
no, of course. I share everything, and honestly, I share everything from numbers to my strategy to anything. Because again, I'm competing against myself. People have copycat me as well. They have ran ads against my name. They have what else? They've stolen my data and put it out for free. Other people have stolen my data and sold it as their own. Other people have read my blog and they know everything I do, and they even talk like me on Twitter sometimes, and they try to promote the same products. Like they've done everything, but guess what? They cannot stop you because the internet is so big. Even if they do exactly the same thing as you, they cannot stop you. Anyway, that's my opinion. Other people have other opinions, and I respect that. But yeah, what you were talking about the graph earlier, expectation versus reality. When I started in 2018, my goal was 500 MRR. Like that means 500 monthly recurring revenue. So $500 every month coming in. I don't know, like pretty confidently. Like people are paying every month. But I start, and things never go according to plan. So I hit like a mental barrier, because that was nothing else than a mental barrier. The first 6 months, I developed my skills. I launched many products like we talked about earlier. I made my first money online. I was like, what the fuck is happening so quickly? I was already at $50 per month. And I'm like, okay, that's it. I only need to 10x this. And the ball has started. That was the easy part, right? But then I hit a wall. And the wall was completely mental. Like it was that I was chasing consumer products. It was that I was afraid to compete. I was afraid of companies. That was another thing that I got from my full-time job. That's another story, but I don't want to overcomplicate things. Basically, the graph Bruno is talking about is a graph that shows that for 2 years, in between 50 and 150 monthly recurring revenue. And I cannot break that. No matter how many products I build, no matter how much I focus on a single product, everything I'm working does not work. So there's a quote I love that says, when in doubt, do the exact opposite of what you've been doing. So I was stuck, obviously, and I didn't want to get a job. That was like my worst nightmare, to get a full-time job. But I was so stuck that I said, fuck it, I'm gonna go and get another job because that's what I deserve actually. So I fly to Italy, and I'm actually in this same room still, and I'm lying down on my bed, and actually no one knows about this apart from my family and my friends. But when I set my alarm clock, I started crying like a child because I felt like, oh fuck, I'm an adult now. I'm going to work tomorrow. That's it. My dreams are done. There's no way I'm gonna do this. That was it. I tried. I had time. I was given the time, but I couldn't make it, and that's on me. Like I'm not talented enough or whatever. I go to work. It was in the office. It was in the beginning. I'm a shy guy. I was not, really close with the people there. I was super tired, and I felt like total shit, And uh, but the important thing is that I saw companies from the inside. I saw that when you're competing with a company, you're not competing against, I don't know, 50 people. You're competing against 5 people. The other 45 people are bored, and you have to understand that. They have their own problems, their own insecurities, their own dreams, their own aspirations, their families, their wife, their kids, their husband, I don't know. The company is not their life. So they just log into Jira, they find their tasks, they do them. Okay, if they're late, they're late. Whatever the product manager says, okay, let's try and postpone this. And they are also slow for that reason. So an indie hacker can pivot in a day. Like I can start. I started like general B2B sales with Cyberleads, and then one day I was going through my customers, and I noticed that the customers I loved the most were CEOs from agencies because they were easy to handle. We were speaking the same language. They were lovely, and I really love working with them. And also, they can close one deal and make their money back 100 times to 1,000 times actually. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna pivot, and I pivot in one day. You know how long companies need to pivot? They need to hold meetings, plural, to change the color of one button. That's how fast they move. Yeah, yeah. So that was a big thing. So that graph, it broke when I started working for our company. So whoever's watching this and thinks that his company is, starting a job might kill his dreams, for me, I would advise you to, when in doubt, do what you're afraid to do. Move abroad, because that was a big thing. I went back to Greece now, Bruno, and oh boy, it felt like going back, like the same buildings, the same environment, no inspiration in there. Move abroad, start a job. That would be my advice, and that was my advice to my best friend because he also hates his job.
So yeah, I remember that when you first tweeted, like you have your first paying customer, and you put that $50, first $50, and all of that excitement about that. And it was pretty for me. I like to see when people are actually doing things and actually making money, especially from these indie hacker projects. And I also remember I know that period of time it was no such tweets. So for some time, and then again you then reported even bigger number. So probably this was that. As you said, this when you hit the wall and when things actually changed. So you actually had this. If I understood you correctly, it was more like a mental barrier or mental obstacle, or what you are doing, and question, probably maybe even questioning yourself what you are doing, why you are doing things, and so you actually do quite the opposite. You started
Yeah,
a full-time
yeah.
job.
And like a huge thing was the daily blog. I write like a daily blog, and like if you told me that a year ago, what the fuck, you write like a journal? What are you? But it really helps with rationalizing your thoughts and saying, okay, what did I do today? Okay, basically I did fuck all, right? I was, I don't know, doing market research or redesigning landing page. That is pretend work. That's not proper work. My blog really helped me see, okay, what the fuck are you really doing? What are the two things you can do today that will move your business forward or your life forward, whatever? Like, what is it? Working out and spending time with your kids, those two. That's it. You don't need fucking 500 things to do every day. So yeah, the blog really helped with self-reflecting, and that Atomic Habits book, that was huge for me. Like cultivating these habits, and that tweet actually was probably the turning point for me, exactly like you said. Because okay, you launch on Product Hunt and it goes well. Then what? Then what? If you cannot bring a single customer, then what? What happens? Nothing. So I tried everything with Cyberleads. I launch, I get 10 customers, and then I'm like, okay, well, what now? So I go on Quora, I go on Reddit, I go on Hacker News, I go on, I don't know, cold emails, everything. And I also post on Twitter. And that was like, like a side effect. Okay, maybe I can build a bit of an audience. Okay. And then one day, that day actually, I was preparing to see a film with my girlfriend, and I wasn't even gonna tweet. That's the funniest thing. Like, you never know what will happen, so you have to really stick with your habits. I wasn't even gonna post that because that customer I didn't get at that point. I got it the previous day. Okay, that's I wrote got my first, but that was actually the previous day. I didn't know what to tweet, and I wanted to tweet once per day. So my girlfriend was like, okay, let's watch a movie now. Okay, let me tweet. I don't know. Yesterday I got that $50 per month customer. So, post it. I go to sleep. I don't even see anything. The next day I wake up and it's chaos, I'm like, what the fuck, really? And I got like another 10 customers nearly from that. I'm like, okay, fuck, this is it now. I have my product and I have my distribution channel. And that's where the fun begins. From then on, you don't have to be super creative, like an artist. Then you have to become an athlete. You have to put the work in. You know exactly what you do. Jordan O'Connor, I think his name is, from Twitter. He has a fantastic blog, and he really helped me be ready for this moment because he has documented the progress of his product. He has went from zero to $30,000 every month, so $1,000 every day passively, and he has also one product and one distribution channel. And when I saw that, I'm like, okay, again, a step back. Okay, don't rush things. You have one product and one distribution channel. Double down on those motherfuckers and don't try, because I was really tempted in SEO and writing blog posts. No, double down on things that are working for you, and you will go a long way. And that's when the graph changed. I found the product and the distribution channel, because you have to find both of them. Otherwise, like, do you want me to give you an idea for free that has product market fit? Okay, Facebook. You have it. Now what? You need the distribution channel. That's the most important thing that no one talks about. And the ability to use that, to utilize that distribution channel in a way that is not slutty for you, Yeah, like if my marketing was, hey guys, use the promo code Bruno Talks and get 10% off and retweet it, I wouldn't do it, then I wouldn't be in this situation now. Whereas now my marketing is, hey, I'm Alex. I'm trying to gain my freedom, and I'm not selling anything to anyone. And that's the best marketing is no marketing. No one wants to be sold anything.
Yeah, when you said that in Greece, like full-time job salary is kind of 500 euros or dollars or whatever. And now, when you compare your income from this project and comparing it to the, I don't know, that with the income that your friends or I don't know relatives or whoever in Greece is making, so how do you feel about that? How do you feel about accomplishing this thing? Because it's clearly a kind of change of in a lifestyle, or I don't know. I mean, it's it's still in a growing phase. It's still, like you said, it's maybe it will become even bigger. Maybe it will, I don't know, hit the roof. But from your point of view now, do you ever reflect on that? So maybe compare it to what other peoples are doing. Do they kind of are there any kind of negative feelings or feedbacks, like okay, now you are sending a newsletter or whatever and you are making 4 times as me, or something like that?
Thankfully, no, because I've only shared it like with friends, and they really know because I won't shut the fuck about building side products and businesses. Like it's something I can talk about for hours and hours. So they knew how long I had spent and how many tries I had done. So everyone said, "Okay, man," because I'm pinching myself. Like I don't believe this is happening. And what the fuck? 6 months ago, I was making $50 per month, and now I'm making my day job that are paying me super well. I'm making like from Cyberleads, I made 4K in net revenue because annual subscriptions are doing well some months. And I'm like, I'm making 6, 7K. What the fuck? Me? Really? So I went back to Greece and I told you what my salary was like 2 years ago. But at the same time, I don't feel like I'm standing on solid ground because I've only been running Cyberleads for 6 months. You never know what might happen. And I'm not going to upgrade my lifestyle or whatever. Like, I don't like things. I like money because I like what money can give you, like security, freedom, financial, time-wise, location-wise, not being afraid of an illness or sickness. Freedom is what I want mostly, and I know that money is the vehicle, so I do like money. But at the same time, I don't like things, so I haven't bought anything since then. When I went to Greece, yeah, my friends were mostly really happy for me. No negative responses.
That's great to hear. I mean, I didn't suppose that you get some negative feedback from your friends, but maybe if people in your surroundings in Greece know what you are doing, but I wasn't aware that you were sharing it only with closer friends, and yeah, that's pretty.
No, I know exactly what you mean. Like sometimes, man, I wake up and like I might get an annual subscriber. Like once when I went viral on Twitter, I got like an annual subscriber in the morning, and I was drinking my coffee, and I made while I was drinking my espresso as much as I made as a software engineer 2 years ago in a month, full time working. I'm like, man, life is not fair. You have to play the game though. You have to learn what the game is like and be good at it. So I don't really talk about it because it's not fair per se,
But you spotted a chance, you acted upon it, you made a product, and yeah, now you are enjoying these funny parts, let's say, of yeah, getting the actual revenue. And yeah, I like how you think also about it's not a solid ground, so you are not changing your lifestyle because, yeah, as you said, something can change dramatically. I mean, I'm always thinking like that as well. So yeah, today is today. I don't know, who knows what tomorrow brings. So you will never know. So it's not, if it's not like a natural to change completely lifestyle, so don't do it. Don't force it just because you can. So for example, I don't know, bringing a new flat or new car, or if you cannot afford it. I mean, so from that point of view, I like what you are, how you are thinking about that. So you are building only this for 6 months. Who knows? Maybe in a year it can, I don't know, triple the revenues can triple up, but yeah, who knows, it can also go downwards. So it's kind of reality, and the reality kicks in sometimes very hard. So are you doing any so yeah, you said that yeah, now the creative parts slowly gets down, but now you are athlete more. Now you have to you need to have to be in the shape, to be in the perfect condition to serve everything. And are you doing any kind of thinking about next products, or are you focused at the moment solely on cyber leads?
Just doubling down because I was working on momentum. Even when I launched Cyberleads and I had 10 paying customers, I build the list and I have a look at the sources and I'm getting all these ideas. Okay, maybe I could make it the same list, but sell it, make it customized and sell it to them or to them or to the other person. And I actually launched like a second product on Product Hunt, and it went nowhere because I don't know why. You never know. And I was so angry at myself. Like, what the fuck are you doing? You have what you were looking for 2.5 years. Why take your energy out of this? So I'm doubling down with cyber leads, and I'm doubling down on my distribution channel that is working at the moment, which is Twitter. And yeah, that's basically what I'm working on right now. Nothing super creative, just doing the two, three, four things that I know that will bring me those results, and just waiting and take myself away, because although the inputs are up to me, I cannot make someone take his wallet out and take his credit card out. You cannot do that. There's so many things that go on that you can just put in the inputs and wait. And that's something that I didn't know before having like a proper business that is running. Like while building projects, I thought everything is up to me. I have to do a good job. I have to build it correctly. The copywriting, yes, this, that. No, you're not as powerful as you think you are. And that's why ideas are important. I hate the notion ideas are nothing, execution is everything. Ideas are nothing and everything at the same time. They are
And
nothing
they have to
because,
combine.
yes, they have to combine. Like, I love Cortland Allen from Indie Hacker's approach on this. He says you can easily find a 10 times better idea, but it's so difficult to become a 10 times better executioner. Like, it's very difficult. But a 10 times better idea is very easy to find. So yeah, what were we talking about before this?
Well, I was asking. The general question was: are you sparing some time to work on some other projects?
I remembered now. And before that was about lifestyle and stuff.
Yeah,
About
lifestyle.
buying stuff. No, man, I'm living my dream, and I remind me that every single day, because that's a big mistake as well. I launched, I had everything, and then I was thinking, what's next? What's next? I hate that question. And you're living your dream. Admit it, because it's very hard to admit. And writing my blogs really helped with that. It's so difficult to admit that you have everything you want, because then what's your excuse not being happy and content? So let's say, how many times have we done that? Like, when I have that, then I'll be happy. And you have it and you say, no, I meant when I had that, I'll be happy. Yeah, but I'm really trying to not upgrade my lifestyle, not anything. I have everything. And that's how I'm trying to live right now.
And that's good to hear. And also good to hear that you are actually found what works for you, and that you are just, as you said, doubling this traction, this channels. So I also read that in this book. I don't know full name of the book, but it's Traction: Getting Your Customers. It's from the founder of DuckDuckGo, and I don't know, the two guys actually wrote that book. There are actually like 17 or 19 channels how you can you advertise, and 19 channels where you can place your product. And it actually has even this kind of framework. It's bullseye framework, I think. So you first think, you go through all of those things and see, even if you're biased, if you think that things cannot work for you, just go with the channel and see if there are any results, and then pick, I don't know, 10s that had some results, and then out of those 10 pick, I don't know, 5 or 3, and then find that one actual channel, traction channel, that works, and then just amplify it, then just work on it, and it seems like what you did here.
Yeah, no, that's a really good book. And actually, you nailed it. I read exactly that book, and I read about those 19 channels, and I picked some that I thought were good fits. I dabbled with everything, and then when that tweet went viral, I said, "Okay, this is it. Double down on this," and that was it.
And it works. So yeah, I think yeah, we had pretty much a good chat here. So I would like to now to close the episode. It's pretty much fitting. I mean, the time just flied, but yeah.
Wait, we're 1 hour?
Well, apparently.
No way, really?
So yeah, I mean, with all of this introduction minutes, but yeah, it is 1 hour that we talked. But yeah, in the end, the main takeaways of this episode, what I would like to be is that you cannot gain success overnight. So you cannot have a successful product overnight. You need to start actually trying. Start trying now. Start trying with a simple idea, and after fifth idea, after 10th idea, after 20th, 50th idea, maybe you will just get that golden goose, or I don't know how to say it this way. So yeah, Alex did that with the cyber leads. He's as he said, he's still pinching himself. He cannot believe that actually people are paying it. But yeah, he find a product. But it's also about the starting of that whole journey, about changing the mindset. So in order to spot some opportunities, business opportunities, it doesn't have to be big business opportunities. It can also be some smaller amount of money, of monthly income. So that's pretty much it. And in these days we have internet, we have open resources, we have free resources, we can learn to code, we can even learn how to know code. So that's also a thing, and especially you can achieve a lot of things with that. And in the end, you can achieve what Alex was saying, you can achieve freedom. So it's not about getting the money. I mean, not actually freedom in terms like to go where you want, but independence, financial independence. I don't know, to buy things that you want to actually buy, but not thinking if something will come on your way, so that you couldn't afford. I don't know, in the where to live, or I don't know, things like that. So yeah, money definitely. It can buy happiness, as they say in certain way, but it's not really about buying happiness. It's about having this independence. So that would be it for this episode. I hope that you have some main takeaways from it, and that you are starting I don't know, even to think about what can you do next, or maybe even to start working from yourself, as Alex said. So it's not about changing the world, actually it's about changing you first, and then maybe eventually you will make some impacts on it. So thanks again, Alex. Thanks for being my guest. It was really a pleasure. So yeah, and also thanks people for listening, and for watching this episode.
Thank you for having me. And if I can add the last thing, I think it's pretty important. Don't give up, since we're talking about like freedom and stuff. And I don't want to be like a motivational speaker or whatever, but just it's not going to be easy. And we're talking about something super important. Like if you give up after 2 tries and you want your freedom, you don't want it bad enough. Build many things, because you cannot really learn with books. Again, like my sister would disagree and kill me, but as Nassim Taleb says, like people learn from doing and not from learning. So do things, and like a Bruce Lee philosophy: keep what works, discard what does not work, try new things, rinse and repeat. And that's basically all you need, not to give up. Yeah.
That's a nice wrap up, and thanks for that. So don't give up after first fail, don't give up after fifth fail. Just try and persevere as much as possible.
Yeah, you only need one product, nothing else. Yeah, thank you for having me.